Watching the movie Braveheart, not expecting it to be an epic, defining moment that shows courage, love, sacrifice, and heroism was something extraordinary. Beneath the surface of Braveheart lies an idea that taps into a base instinct, one that, in many ways, feels like it's being erased in today's world. The film portrays the very fabric of an all-heroic man who never asked for greatness, but, when faced with injustice, had no choice but to awaken his core foundation and become who he was meant to be. This idyllic representation of a man, thrust into a role he didn't seek, resonates deeply because it speaks to something timeless: the courage to fight for what is right and to defend against tyranny, no matter the cost. Imagine being this man, William Wallace, who had planned to marry the woman he loved since his youth, only to have her life brutally taken by the enforcers of a feudalistic system that treated the lower class as disposable. The film vividly depicts a time when lords and dukes ruled over the lands with unchecked power, a tyrannical period where the common people were mere pawns in a larger game of control. Wallace's personal tragedy, losing his beloved Maron, mirrors the broader oppression of the Scottish people under English rule. Her death is not just a personal loss, but a symbol of the systemic injustice that dehumanizes and discards those without power. Wallace's story is deeply rooted in love. His bond with Maron is the heartbeat of his early life, a tender promise of peace and simplicity. Her murder by the English sheriff shatters that dream, igniting a fire within him that transforms personal grief into a public crusade. This element of love adds a human dimension to his heroism, showing that even the grandest battles can stem from the most intimate emotions. It's a reminder that the fight against tyranny often begins not with ideology, but with the personal stakes of those we hold dear. Another layer to this tale is the theme of community and national identity. Scotland, in the film, is a land fractured by rival clans, each wary of the other. Wallace becomes the unlikely glue that binds them, rallying these disparate groups against a shared oppressor. His leadership isn't born of noble birth or military training, but of a raw, undeniable conviction that unites people across divides. This aspect of the story highlights the strength found in solidarity, a force that can topple even the mightiest of tyrants when individuals stand as one. Sacrifice weaves through Braveheart like a thread of steel. Wallace and his followers don't just risk their lives, they offer them up willingly, knowing that freedom might only bloom for those who come after them. This willingness to give everything for a cause greater than oneself elevates the tale from a mere rebellion to a profound meditation on selflessness. It's a stark contrast to the feudal lords who cling to power for personal gain, showing that true nobility lies not in titles, but in the readiness to lay down one's life for others. Braveheart serves as a powerful call to action. Wallace's journey, from a farmer seeking a quiet life to a warrior leading a revolution, mirrors the potential within us all to rise against wrongdoings. The film suggests that heroism isn't reserved for the chosen few. It's a spark that can ignite in anyone when the moment demands it. This message resonates as a challenge. When we witness tyranny in our own lives, do we turn away, or do we find the courage to fight? The feudalistic tyranny depicted in the movie isn't just a historical relic. It's a metaphor for any system that strips people of their worth. Whether it's the English overlords of the 13th century or modern structures of inequality, Braveheart critiques the dehumanization of the powerless. It reflects a universal truth. Oppression thrives when the oppressed are seen as disposable, and change begins when someone dares to say, "No more." Though set in medieval Scotland, the film's themes stretch across time. Wallace's rebellion echoes in the American Revolution, the fight for civil rights, and even contemporary struggles against authoritarianism. It tells viewers that the quest for freedom is never finished. Each era has its own tyrants to face, its own Wallaces to find. This timelessness keeps Braveheart relevant, telling us to look at our world and ask where justice still needs a champion. Wallace isn't a flawless knight or a godlike figure. He's a man with fears, flaws, and a breaking heart. His heroism lies in his refusal to break under those burdens, in his choice to stand when kneeling would be easier. This portrayal reflects to viewers that being a hero doesn't require perfection. It requires resolve. In an age where heroism is often packaged as unattainable spectacle, Braveheart brings it back to earth, making it something we can all aspire to. In the end, Braveheart is more than a historical epic. It's a testament to the enduring human spirit. It shows us that even in the darkest of times, there is hope in resistance, strength in unity, and immortality in sacrifice. As we watch Wallace's story unfold, we're not just spectators of a distant past. We're participants in a timeless struggle for dignity and freedom. His tale reminds us that the base instinct to fight for what's right isn't lost. It's waiting within us, ready to awaken when tyranny dares to strike. And in that reflection, we see not just a man, but the potential heroes we might become in our own lives.